So, off on another roaming adventure. This time I'm going to visit a blacksmith who lives in the hills about a half an hour away from where I am. It's an overcast afternoon, and so it's not too hot, good day to get out. And I don't plan to talk to this blacksmith, just kind of show you his shop. I actually went there a long time ago, and I did show that in a video, but that was many moons ago. I'll do more rush hour, heavy traffic style roaming videos, but it's also good for me to get out, leave the city center, and breathe some fresh air every now and then. I apologize for all the wind interference, the wind noise. I'll figure out some way to try to reduce that. This is a pretty big hospital here on my left. Most people in this area will go to that hospital, but I typically don't. I like to go to a real rinky-dink hospital that's even closer to where I live, and it irks my wife to no end because she thinks you should go to the bigger hospital where they have better doctors, better facilities, and the like. But I prefer the convenience of, walking in, registering, going to see the doctor, getting any medicine that you might need and leaving. And I'm telling you, literally, that can be done in about 15 minutes in that little rinky-dink hospital. Whereas in the bigger hospital, it's not going to be so quick. So as you can probably guess, I'm not very big on seeing doctors. I haven't been in this area in a long while, or at least on this street. And that building straight ahead is new, and it reminds me of the Flatiron Building in New York City, or at least just a little bit. Some of you guys will recall that I passed the zoo on my right here in a previous video. Maybe I'll go in there one of these days and make a video of that. At the fork here, if I go left, that would be towards the Garbage Mountain. You'll remember that from a couple of roaming videos ago. This guy in front is really riding his brakes, and so I'm gonna hit the juice and pass these two cars up. I've gone on a somewhat different way than I normally go, and I'm not lost, I know my direction, but I'm not sure what road I should turn onto, so I'll just play it by ear. All roads lead somewhere, and all roads eventually lead back home. Think about that some. I'll try crossing over this small bridge. Oh, I'm just kind of looking this way and that way to help me find my way. This looks familiar here, and so now I know where I am. Some years ago, I thought about buying a home in this general area. I like it out this way. It's just fresher air and less people, less crowds. And approached my wife about it, and she said, hell no. So we just continue to rent here, and we do own a small home in America that I rent out, and so that kind of offsets our rental here. And my wife says, well, long term, she would prefer to move back to America. You know, she likes living in the U.S. for sure, but given her family obligations and some other things, we're here now. And she says, but long term, she'd like to be in America. And I think, well, on this go round, we've been in Taiwan for 10 years. So maybe her long term and my long term must be different. For me, 10 years is a long time. You don't have too many 10 years in your lifetime. But I guess maybe she's a vampire or something. I don't know. I've got to make a quick pit stop, and then we'll be back off to the blacksmith shop. In that direction, there's some pretty nice scenery. Maybe next trip I'll go that way. So I'm coming up here on the town of Shiding, and this is where the blacksmith shop is. This is like a little small mountain town. It's a little touristy town. On the weekends, just jam-packed with people. But this is obviously a weekday, so got a little bit of breathing room. For all these little tight roads and little alleys, you just can't beat riding a scooter. A stream runs through this town and it hugs right up against a lot of these buildings. And you can imagine during a typhoon it just becomes a raging torrent. So this is the small blacksmith shop on my left here. I'll go park my scooter and then walk back. Just some really idyllic scenery. In his really small space, you can see his pretty big coal-fired forge, power hammer, and various tools. He's got that maybe 100-pound horned anvil there, but his main anvil for hand striking is that stake that you see right there. I think his business is primarily focused around the weekend tourists. Here's a poster of him with some descriptions. I can see him in the adjacent room watching TV, and I don't want to disturb him. Sorry, jailbird. Can't set you free today. I really appreciate everyone who watches these and my blacksmithing videos. Catch you guys next time.